Hi there, my name is Paul Taylor Sussex from Nelligan O'Brien Payne, and today we are talking to Carol Craig, who's a member of our Elder Law Group. Welcome, Carol.
Thanks, Paul.
First, maybe you could, people who don't know maybe what elder law is, you could explain a bit about what it includes.
Okay. It's actually a very broad and evolving area of law that encompasses many different practice areas. Essentially, any legal issue that's related to seniors and their families would fall under the umbrella. For example, discrimination in the workplace, discrimination in the healthcare sector, consent issues, capacity issues, power of attorney issues, estate planning, elder abuse and exploitation, housing issues. They could all fall under the umbrella of elder law.
Okay. And how did you first become interested in elder law?
I'd always practiced in areas of family law and estate litigation, but it wasn't until my mother, she was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma in November of 2012, and we went through a year and a half of her illness and before she died in June of 2013 that opened my eyes to the vulnerabilities of aging adults. And it was almost overnight. She went from being my mom to becoming an older individual, and having to figure out treatment options, that mean end-of-life decisions, palliative care options, all made me realize how vulnerable that sector is, that when I returned to practice after her death, I definitely had a new interest in those issues and very much a passion for helping protect vulnerable older adults.
Now, to get to your practice, maybe you could talk about the kinds of issues that the Elder Law Group deals with.
Okay. So we do focus on our strengths at Nelligan's. We're known for having a very strong employment group, and we have members of that group who are interested in elder employment issues such as ageism in the workplace. Yep. In family law, I've taken an interest in family law issues relating to older adults. When people separate later in life, different things have to be taken into consideration, and everything from figuring out from spousal support releases, division of property. You're looking at people at a time in life when they don't have time to recoup and to rebuild assets, for example, that the financial implications of separation can be much more damaging and hurtful. And I do think it takes certain things need to be taken into account. Sure. So from a family law perspective, I do focus on an elder law component. Under the umbrella of estate litigation are files dealing with powers of attorney and powers of attorney abuse have really increased in recent years, the numbers of files. And we're dealing with lots of families, particularly families with multiple siblings, where you have siblings who are just not agreeing with each other as to what the best plan of care is for mom or dad who's aging. And consequently, it leads to disputes. It can be disputes over money. It can be disputes over personal care decisions. And essentially, it's a bit of a battle for control. And they need to get some help from lawyers, essentially, to work their way through these and resolve them. Okay. And then finally, we do, obviously, estate planning as well.
Yeah. Okay. When it comes to elder abuse, what can friends and relatives do if they think an elderly person is being taken advantage of?
So if they're taking advantage of them, for example, you've got concerns about how someone is managing their money, or and that's a big one that we get contacted about. You can definitely contact a lawyer. If the concerns are greater to the point that you think it's fraud or that they're actually stealing money, you can contact the elder abuse section at the Ottawa Police. Okay. There are also concerns about physical abuse or emotional abuse. You can also speak with the public guardian and trustee, once again the elder law section of the police, or contact a lawyer who specializes in those issues, because sometimes there's intervention or steps that can be taken to help protect the person who's in need.
Okay. And are there things that people can do to safeguard against these kinds of abuses as well?
I think people, when they're young enough when they have capacity and the ability to appoint substitute decision maker, someone who's going to be there to help make decisions on their behalf later in life when you're no longer able to, take the time to choose the right person, and take the time to meet with a lawyer, to whether it's estate planning and drafting powers of attorney, but choosing someone who's going to safeguard and protect your interests. And if you make the choices and they're well documented and those documents are secured and unreleased when they need to actually be relied upon, it can help prevent people, hopefully, from just drafting up new powers of attorney or just sort of on the cuff ones. Like if you have an ongoing relationship with a lawyer who's known you for a period of time, who's drafted 1 or 2 or 3 of your wills over your lifetime, they're going to be able to help speak to what your true wishes are. And so that's really the best protection I think you can have. Other than that, it's hope that you raise good children who are not going to take advantage of you.
Yep, we'll do our best, I guess, in that regard. Thank you, Carol. If anyone has any further questions about what you've seen today, you can contact our Elder Law group here at Nellie Gunn O'Brien Payne. Thank you.
Okay.